Welcome to Pod Maverick After Dark. I'm Kirk Henderson, joined by Josh Bowe. We are editors over at Mavs Moneyball, and you are here with Pod Maverick After Dark, following the Dallas Mavericks, falling to the Milwaukee Bucks, 116 to 114. Josh, how are you?
I'm doing good. That was a hilarious game.
It was, and let's just kind of jump right into it. So,
yeah.
The Bucks are playing on the second night of a back-to-back. They lost to the Rockets by 7. The Rockets are kind of one of the best teams in the NBA. The Bucks are on, I would kind of put them on the fringe Eastern Conference contender, but that doesn't really make any. That's not
the East.
It's the East. But the bottom line, I come into this game with the single thought of Giannis Antetokounmpo fucking rules. And what are the Mavericks going to do about him? Because we knew by around 2 this afternoon that Anthony Davis was out. Derek Lively is out again. Somebody, my friend Glenn on the show the other night said that they'd revised his injury. I don't know what's going on with him, but this just isn't good. And it's annoying because the Mavericks could have used him tonight. But instead we were treated to a game where the Mavericks came out and, we'll get to this a little later in the show, but I got a text message from my friend where just now asking if the Mavericks were inspired to win one for Nico Harrison. That was arguably one of the better games they've played this season. I know they've won 3 games, but I felt better about the process of what they were doing that game than I did in any other game other than the Toronto game. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, their 3 wins are Toronto, a 10-point win against Toronto, and Toronto's a 2-point scratching and clawing win against Indiana, who's terrible, and then basically the other night where they had to scratch and claw to beat Washington, who's the worst team. They haven't beaten a team. I mean, is Toronto over 500? They might.
Toronto's a weird team. Some
Toronto's
nights
500. Yeah,
they look
Toronto's
fantastic
500.
some nights, and then other nights they look unplayable.
But they haven't beaten a safe playoff team yet this season.
Yes.
So. Yeah, this was easily their best. I mean, I think this was a better game than any of their 3 wins. I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous, but they put it to Milwaukee for 3 quarters. I mean, they busted their asses for 3 quarters. I mean, and it was purely there was some scheme for sure. What the Mavericks did, doubling Giannis for most of the game, and they're rotating in their recovery. That was definitely scheme and execution. So that was part of it. But the other part of it was they just played harder. Milwaukee clearly came into this game either one, not wanting to play it because they just wanted to get home from the road trip and they were tired of sitting back, or Milwaukee thought this Dallas team sucks. We can do a C- effort and probably still win by 12. And the Mavericks were no, you're gonna have to beat us. We're not gonna roll over. You're gonna have to beat us. We're gonna execute. We're not gonna let Giannis dunk on us for 40 points. Although Giannis still ending up with 30.
Still tried to dunk on them for 40 points.
I know it's hilarious because he had I want to say he had 1 shot attempt in the first quarter, I think. So yeah, I mean, I just thought the Mavericks played hard, and that's a testament to. I mean, we say this repeatedly, they play hard, The Jason Kidd era Mavericks to me are defined, besides all the chicanery, to steal one of your favorite words, off the court and all this stuff. On the court, they play hard. Even if they're not prepared, even if they don't execute, even if they're at a talent disadvantage, they don't quit. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. They're 3-8. And the record is they're at a point now where moral victories don't really help. They need wins desperately right now, any way they can get them to climb out of the hole. So I guess I know it's kind of faint praise, but I don't know. They played hard. Even these losses, the only game they played they played 2 games this season where I was okay, that was pretty bad. Was the San Antonio game to start the season, and the Memphis game, and even maybe that first Washington loss was also pretty stinky, but. I don't know. They play hard, and they don't let go of the rope, even if they should lose the teams that they should beat. So yeah, I'm rambling now, but I was just impressed. They were kicking Milwaukee's ass for 3 quarters, and I don't think that should go without.
It shouldn't because they were look. I'm friends with a lot of Bucks fans, and they're ungodly whiny about Giannis Antetokounmpo's whistle. I'm sorry, I appreciate and like Giannis. I find him watching him to be fascinating because it's like, what if you made Shaq a point guard? He is so physical in ways that I admire. Like the way he goes left is just so powerful. He had a dunk on 3 Mavs in traffic in the third quarter where I was just like, oh my God.
Where he dunked on Gafford and
and like
Flagg
Cooper went
time.
flying. It was just amazing. Like it's the kind of stuff. And I mean, I admire.
He looks like dad's playing against children.
He does, and so I go out of my way to say this because he was kind of the only one giving a shit for about the first 3 quarters of the game. And when he is going so hard, and the rest of the Bucks are kind of puttering around, it looks really weird. And the Bucks just had nothing. Like they had nothing.
They really didn't.
And then all of a sudden they had something. Yep. I mean, they went on a 29-10 run from the third into the fourth quarter, where I'm sitting there on the couch just kind of laughing because the Mavericks were still trying their asses off. It just did not matter.
Fortunately, this was a math game.
This was a math game, and it's you know, like. Could Giannis have gotten some calls under the basket defensively when he was guarding Gafford? Yes. I felt like the game was called pretty fair. You know, like Giannis is an impossible guy to guard. The Mavericks were pretty frustrated by it. I also felt like the Mavs got away with some things here and there. So it's like I say this because I mean it's not like there are any Bucks fans who are listening, but it's like I'm friends with all these Bucks fans that crow about Giannis all the time, and I'm like, he commits an offensive foul every fucking possession.
Yeah, I mean the Mavericks shot 41 free throws, so
yeah, like it was a great. This was a really like a wildly weird and entertaining game, and then you know the Bucks just sort of turned it on. Like I to say that the Mavericks got a little lucky at points, I think is maybe that's just the way things go. Like the 3-point. How did I feel like the Mavs hit a bunch of threes tonight? Am I full of it?
Yes, you are. They made 9 of 39. That is.
Okay, then I'm thinking of the Christie ones. Like Christie had a great one off of Cooper Flagg pass where it's just
after Giannis missed the dunk, and you're just like, oh, maybe this is just one of those games.
We're jumping all around, but you know it's shout out to the Bucks for this one. But the guy we've been doing this on accident just because I think we've been very frustrated with how the Mavericks are played. But like that was the best game Cooper Flagg has played by a country mile, right?
Yeah, it was a shame. This felt like his moment. Like I know he's had some good games before this, but he had the go-ahead bucket with under 30 seconds left, and it kind of felt, and he was huge.
Great bucket. I mean, a great, but into Giannis in traffic. Skins that it should have been and one, which I don't agree with. I thought it was just good straight up basketball because like Giannis had his hands high, Flagg bumps off him, and scored on it. It was just a real like Flagg had some moves tonight. Like his body control, and you know, Tyler described it as his problem-solving ability, his sort of just nature of how he processes the game. When he slows down after going really fast, that is just it's breathtaking to watch because at that age, meaning 18, to have this level of body control bodes well in a way that's hard to contextualize for the future. He just knows how to absorb contact and play through it. And so there have been some questions early on, and they're fair questions about his finishing ability. I'd be curious if the people who have been critical or frustrated by his finishing ability felt that way tonight. And he looked fantastic. Like the rebounding was there. The playmaking was there. I can't believe he missed 3 free throws. That's actually pretty wild now that I'm looking at it here. But the fact that he went to the line 10 times is actually pretty wild considering the flag he's been, or the call he's been getting.
Yeah, he was downhill all night. I mean, he shot 5. He was 1 of 5 from 3, so he still didn't shoot very well from 3. But yeah, he didn't take all of his threes. Felt like yes, take those. Good, you know shots. What I mean? Like like the defense is going under. He didn't hesitate. He quickly fired. That's something I like about his. This is really like I'm not trying to give a backhanded compliment. Teams are playing under him as much as they can because they you'd rather him shoot a jumper than do something at the basket. He doesn't hesitate when teams go under. He has a pretty quick trigger. Like he's ready to shoot, and that sounds silly, but that's kind of half the battle. Like I would rather if Flagg was struggling with his shot, I would rather him be doing it like this instead of maybe shooting 20%, but also only shooting like twice a game and maybe hesitating and not moving the ball or getting the ball stuck. Like he fired. Like when a team is like, take this three, and if he's in rhythm, Cooper's like, okay, I'll take it because I got to take it because I got to make it because that's
it's fine.
That's the
next
fine
process.
That's the next fine process. And then the other part of it was like he was downhill all night because I don't think he played a single minute at point tonight. I think one of Brandon Williams or D'Angelo Russell was on the floor for the entire game. And that matters. That absolutely matters. And they should still experiment with him at point at times. But for now, he should be playing with a point guard for 80 to 90% of his minutes on the floor. And I think it's not a coincidence that his efficiency and his scoring, and besides the numbers, his process, and we've been saying process a lot. People are going to get sick of how often we say process. The process has been significantly better since they've shifted away from the point Cooper stuff. And that's great. Get him downhill in transition. So, get him moving off the ball. Play with guards that can break down a defense so that he's not going 1-on-5. It feels like in isolation, like that matter. All that stuff matters for him.
Well, and so before we pivot, I do want to talk about the Brandon Williams of it all before we take a short break. But I also want to note, if there was a game for him to be a little bit, oh God, it's Giannis, this would have been, I would have accepted that, because I described the 3-person dunk that Giannis committed earlier. The very next possession, Cooper Flagg attacked the rim with reckless abandon twice and got a foul call on the second one on a putback dunk attempt. I mean, this is a guy he's going up against an MVP, one of the guys who's going to go down as one of the greatest players in NBA history, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and just attacking him and attacking that defense with no regard for his own safety and no worry about his pride. That's something to me that I think is it's at least important to me. I'm getting old now. You can tell that sort of stuff. It's like he doesn't give a shit if he's going to end up on the wrong end of a highlight reel. He's going to attack, and that's pretty awesome to me. So
yeah, no, I agree.
So Kidd inserting, it's funny. This was easily Kidd's best starting lineup of the season, going against the Bucks, and
the Mavericks won the first quarter.
They won the first quarter. They look great. So it's you got Brandon Williams, Max Christie, Cooper Flagg, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford. You have been sort of calling for the Brandon Williams of it all. So have lots of other people, but Williams' ability to get paint touches and just head downhill. Listening to the Mavericks announce crew kind of gush about Williams. I want to make this positive in that I'm very happy with what Williams could do, but it's like, it just goes back to the team building fuckery that exists where it's like, all right, the 15th man, the guy who was in the G League last year, is super important to this lineup because he's the one who puts the ball on the floor and gets to the basket. That's just annoying to me. But Williams was great. 19 points. He really not great from the field, but that's to be expected. 11 free throws is amazing. I found his game pretty satisfying overall.
Yeah, he hasn't shot the ball well at all in the last 2 games, and it sounds silly to be like praising him as he's kind of had his worst 2. I mean, these are easily his worst 2 shooting games of the season. He's got them back to back, and it's when he's had his minutes increased. But I don't think it's a coincidence that they've looked better with him on the floor more, because again, he just touches the paint more than any other guard on the team. There's some deficiencies. He's smaller. Like, he's pretty good defensively in terms of playing passing lanes, but if you kind of size him up, you can kind of take advantage of that a little bit. He's not like a pure passing point, although he definitely kind of has that strong side to weak side corner 3 pass in his game every now and then. But like, again, like all that stuff is irrelevant. Like, he takes good shots. He forces the issue. Where, when you think about like, why is he playing more over D'Angelo Russell, who is also shooting poor, who's also shooting poorly. Like, neither of them are shooting well right now. And the main difference is D'Angelo Russell barely breaks free throw line extended with the ball. Like, he just doesn't. That's just not his game. He's more of a pull-up jump shooter, 3-point shooter, step back 3-point shooter. That's kind of more what he wants to do. So Either way, they need to keep playing a point because I think like everyone's just in a natural position. Like they attacked, they had 41 free throws because they had the floor space properly, despite the fact that they can't shoot, but they still had everyone in kind of the right spot, which made it easier to attack closeouts and get to the rim.
I mean, it's hard.
They got to the basket a lot tonight.
It's hard to explain this to people who either haven't played in a while or have never played before, but the difference 6 to 8 inches can make in a game where everyone is so fast and so athletic. I mean, I was watching Ryan Russillo posted this an old game today, and he was just like, I watch these every now and again. The tweet was something to the effect of, I watch these old conference finals every now and again, and I'm pretty sure that every single player in this game would think today's players are aliens. Because it's just a different, like, it's just different. Like, guys fucking stand still. Like, I watched a lot of these games, 80s and 90s, but guys are standing straight up. They're not playing any fucking defense. They're just like standing there. It's awful basketball relative to what we watch now. And I say all this to indicate it's like you're talking about the proper spacing even without the shooting. They still have to respect the space. Like, somebody was questioning, does Klay Thompson hit anything in pregame warmups? It's like, I promise you guys, you go to an NBA shoot around once, and Musa Cisse is knocking down like 10 threes in a row. These guys are the best players on the planet. And sometimes that gets lost because we see them fail in games. And it's just, I say all this to note where it's like the right spacing, like Josh pointed out, can make a massive difference. Now, I do want to point out, Ash Boying in the chat said, Williams can't start for this team. He's 18 minutes in a Lou Williams type of way. I actually agree with that over an 82-game year, but the Mavericks need something right now. Like, they just need something. And until they figure out what's next, this is a break glass in case of emergency type thing.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Brandon Williams should be like an 18-minute guy in a perfect world, but like, what's the alternative? Like, we've seen what they've looked like through 11 games. Like, what do you want to? Like, we just saw what D'Angelo Russell looks like when you extend his minutes. Even though I've been a proponent of getting him more minutes.
That's right.
There's no Kyrie. Those are the only 2 point guards. Like, do you want to go back to point Coop? Do you want to play Jaden Hardy more? Do you want to play Ryan Nimhard? Like, there's no clean answer right now when you came into the season shorthanded at the guard spot. And now, Derek Lively and Anthony Davis especially, who can provide some at least scoring relief. Like, they're hurt. Like, I don't know what else they're supposed to do right now with this roster as it's constructed other than play what kid played tonight. Like, I don't think you're going to optimize the lineups that much better. I mean, more Cisse, like, they didn't play Cisse 48 minutes, which, shame on Jason Kidd for not doing that. But, other than that, I don't know what else to do. I can talk about Cisse all day. I love Cisse. I hope you guys did your homework. Did you see how hard he run? Kirk, did you see how hard he runs?
I could tell Giannis was having a good time with them on free throws, where it's like on one attempt, Giannis put him in such a bad spin cycle that Cisse went flying. But I think Giannis really appreciated the physicality of what he was going. It's like he enjoyed it. It was funny. Cisse is getting more and more. It's a name you're hearing more and more. He's just somebody that fans are going to root for, And I get it. So you got this guy. There's a couple of people that have been arguing. It's like Kai Jones runs better than Cisse.
Okay, Kai Jones isn't on the team. What are you talking about?
Kai Jones also a fucking first rounder who flamed out because he had some mental health challenges.
Okay,
like Cisse was literally an undrafted guy. Like, that's a bigger the lack of pedigree is important, even though he rose and fall. Anyway, interesting story. Should we cut to break?
Sure, we can cut to break.
Okay, I'm going to post some ads right now. One of the things that my overlord suggested that I try, it's like, guys, if you have any friends or family that that like the Mavericks, recommend our podcast to them. Leave us a review, that sort of stuff. Anything to spread the word about our very realistic, sometimes incredibly angry podcast is and would be appreciated. And if you want to support our show, you can do 2 things. There's a PayPal link, and I'll get a what's the other one? Not a Cash App, but I'll find a way to put a Venmo link in there too, because I know people like to use that. If you like to support us directly, that's how. The other way to support us directly is to actually listen to those ads, and I'm going to put those in right now. Okay, thanks so much for waiting. So Josh and I kind of decided, if you haven't subscribed to the show, we're going to host the secondary show. It'll be group therapy tonight. I wasn't going to do it because I was feeling pretty tired, but the fourth quarter was so fun. I think I'm going to try. We may not go for an hour, but if anybody wants to talk hoop, we will talk hoop. Josh and I decided before the show we were going to try to get kind of the game recap and game analysis because today was a particularly ridiculous day in Mavs adjacent media. Do you want to break it down?
Yeah, so it started with Mark Stein was the first.
He did it Sunday. He basically put out of the Mavs are. I love Stein. Stein is a friend. Stein has been unbelievably kind to me as we have gone along this. But Stein he's such a brilliant writer, and where he is able to use language in such a way to soften the impact. And he sort of put a trial balloon out there that like this is not looking good for Nico Harrison is what, and he did this yesterday.
Yeah, and this is like really the first. I mean, if you think about it, this is really the first. I mean, there were some stories over the summer about how Nico doesn't have complete trust, or Dumont doesn't have complete trust in Nico, but nothing that was suggested Nico's job was in danger over the summer. This is the first story since the Luka trade that it felt like Nico is on the hot seat, and then ESPN's Tim McMahon kind of followed it up and was like, yeah, this is a matter of when. I mean, he literally said this is a matter of when, not if. Every Mavs person you talk to is just kind of saying, yeah, Tim Cato had his story on DLSS. It feels like all the beat guys are starting to finally get the rumblings that something's actually happening. It makes sense that it took this long too, because this is now, it's not Mark Cuban, who all these guys could just text whenever they wanted, and he would text them back and tell them stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't think they have that access to Dumont like they had to Cuban. So I think that's why the information has felt so cloudy for a little bit.
Can I pause you there, though? Can I pause you there?
Yeah.
I am not a reporter. I get told things every now and again, but there's no upside in reporting. I'm never going to make a single dollar off reporting. So I rarely say things until at the time, because it just doesn't benefit me. I think there's something to the fact that all these reporters hold on to this information way longer than is like sometimes these reporters treat information as a means of leverage.
Yeah. You don't want to burn it.
They don't want to burn it. And it's like, because I sometimes wonder, like looking back with like, let's just say the Luka stuff, for example, are we really sure that nobody knew anything? I don't know, but I just say neither here nor there to say it's like now, like the Mavericks are so bad that it's safe to say some of this stuff. That's what it comes down to for me. I mean, McMahon hinted on a podcast that he's doing for ESPN now that he said this last week, that the question he gets the most from other teams is about Nico's job security. Like the Mavericks are, like, for all intents and purposes, the Dallas Mavericks are considered an NBA joke right now. Like they're a joke. And that is not just for the style of play, not just for the roster construction, because of Nico Harrison. And like at some point you can't have that leading your team. Anyway, go ahead. You were telling the story.
No, these stories coming out back to back. This is the first time I think Nico Harrison has been on the hot seat legitimately, because I think we've talked before, and I will eat crow if this changes, but I've been pretty steadfast in my belief that I don't think Harrison's going to get fired until his contract runs out, because I just don't. And it's less about deserved. It's more just, I just don't think the ownership cares enough, or doesn't know what to do. Like I see people that are like, why hasn't he fired Nico yet? I'm like, I don't even know if Dumont knows how to hire a GM, or like, I don't know if Dumont knows what the next step is. Like he came into this. The reason why he had full trust in Nico is because he didn't buy this team so that he could run a basketball team. Right. He bought
That's
a product.
Exactly right. I am so glad you're saying this, because I am so infuriated by the Dallas Mavericks fans out there who are so Dallas owner whipped that they don't understand how businesses actually function. Look, if Patrick Dumont didn't want to trade Luka, he would have fired Nico on the spot. I do actually agree with that part. Okay. But the thing is, he accepted Nico's consolidation of power. Okay. That was a thing that Patrick Dumont did. Good managers empower their employees to make decisions and then stand on them. Okay. he probably isn't a busybody owner because he has a whole other job. And that's something that Mavericks fans are not accustomed to, because Mark Cuban was probably deciding what the toilet paper was like in the AAC. And just like Jerry Jones is involved in everything with the Cowboys.
And Steve Ballmer.
Yeah. And so it's like until the day I die, I will believe that he was probably aware of the trade. But if he didn't agree with letting Harrison run the team how he wanted to, Harrison probably was like, I'm going to walk unless I get to do this how I want. I mean, let's think about how Harrison has operated the whole time. So it's like, that's very confusing to Mavs fans. And it's just, that's the way a lot of managers in the world function, is they let their subordinates actually do their jobs without micromanaging. I mean, I don't know about you. I haven't always been blessed to have that in my life, but it is true. Okay. And Vet in the chat saying Nico is not getting fired. I love these arguments. People have some great arguments in our chat. Everybody's been really nice in our chat lately, which is not the case last season. Anyway, so go ahead.
I just think, so this is the first time that the heat is on, and I'm curious, Dumont was at the game, and it was kind of funny because this is his first appearance at a Mavericks home game since the season opener. And Lord knows there's been a lot of Mavericks home games to start the season. So it's not like the team has been on a bunch of road trips. So there's been plenty of chances for him to watch a home game. So it was definitely curious that he was here tonight. And then the big thing that McMahon reported was talking about the other day was how he thinks Dumont, for the first time since he's owned the Mavs, is like throwing his weight around in terms of basketball decisions in regards to Anthony Davis's health.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah. So
did you hear this part of the pod yet, or have you just read about it?
Yeah, I listened to the clip with McMahon and the Hoop Collective.
So, in case anybody hasn't heard it, tell them what happened. Okay, the short story is AD wants to play. Yeah. And that shouldn't be any surprise to anyone. I've been kicking the shit out of AD all day on my social media feed because AD is representative of something to me, and I just don't want to see his face anymore. Doesn't mean I hate him. I just don't want to deal with him. However, I do respect his desire to compete, and he wants to play. And he wanted to play against the Wizards on Saturday. No doubt he wanted to play today. I'm sure Nico Harrison was very thrilled with that, because Nico Harrison, while he might be a moron, I don't think he's quite the moron to not know that the Mavericks being bad it can't be good for him. So apparently Dumont essentially had to get involved and talk to both sides and say, all right, final decision. I don't think you should play, and I'm the owner.
Yeah, McMahon tried to say like they eventually came to an agreement. Both sides.
That's not how that shit works. That's like my wife and I getting into a fight and me coming to realize that she's right. No, that's not how that works. It's me just accepting defeat. It's a different deal.
Yeah. Sounded like the training staff from McMahon said wanted to be more cautious, and it sounded like AD and it sounded the way I'm inferring, but from what McMahon said, it sounded like training staff and Dumont wanted to be cautious. AD and Nico wanted to play.
Which, I mean, if that is a fireable fucking offense, Nico Harrison. How many times do we got to do this? Like, I don't want to have to, you are supposed to be protecting your investments.
Yeah, I know. So, but, I don't know. I fully admit that maybe this, I'm probably going to be wrong about Harrison's job security here.
I give it to the Lakers game. The Lakers game after Thanksgiving in Los Angeles. The Mavericks are now 3-8. Okay. They got 9 games till then. They have 3 more homestand games here. If they lose this homestand, he might be gone. Like there's the Nico chants are getting minimized.
What if they play every game like they played this game though?
But the heat is.
Does it matter?
There is chum in the water. Whether or not what McMahon and Stein said is true or not, the perception of the truth is all that really matters. And granted, I want to clarify in that I think that of course they're reporting based on what they know. But right now, the Mavericks broadcast is minimizing the Fire Nico stuff. It was everywhere. It was after the game. It was during the game. You're getting reports from people outside the game, on the way to, on the way from. This is an organic thing where people who do not know, like I just jokingly posted on my Facebook today that I thought Nico Harrison was getting fired soon. And I got more engagement from that than I did anything outside of baby pictures. Like there's blood in the water, folks. Nico Harrison's not long for this world. And so be it. Like I look forward to never having to discuss him in the context of the day to day ever again.
Yeah, the thing that is interesting is this is the first time Dumont is handling something like this, because before, there was the fire Nico, but it's pretty clear he was not going to do that. So now, like, this is a thing. Like, this is a story now. Like, this is a thing. And last season was kind of different because they were kind of able to run the clock out because the season was almost over. They got, 70 something more games left. They can't run the clock out like they did last year because it really didn't start picking up until AD got hurt in full. And then, it was already middle of February by then. And they were able to just get through the end of the season. They can't do that this time. Like they need to do something about this before it starts seeping onto the basketball, because credit to the players.
Players are getting asked about it. Brendan Williams just gotten at, like, that's not going. When you have a 4-game homestand, that doesn't go away.
Yeah, like the thing that I'm worried about now is the team is playing really hard, and even if they're not winning, they're playing like they played really hard tonight, and they played hard enough and executed well enough to win this game. They just can't shoot. Like that's just how the roster is. You can't snap your fingers and make these guys good shooters. But if this cloud hangs over for a couple more games, like that's just mentally, like these guys are human. Like that's going to affect things. If they're constantly asked about it, if the mood is this grim around it, like they got to come, even if they don't fire him, like Dumont needs to come out and be like, Hey, Nico Harrison is our GM for the rest of the season. This is what we're doing. Like, like they cannot let it be vague and kind of in the nebulous here for the next couple of weeks. Like he either needs either fire him, like shit, or get off the pot. Either fire him or release a statement saying you've got full confidence. Talk to the team and be like, hey, there's no changes are happening this season. Let's get healthy and fight through it. Like they cannot piddle paddle over this.
I think that's true.
Because it's not fair to the team. It's not fair to the team. It's not fair to the players. It's not fair to the coaches. Like they're trying. They might not be good enough, but they're trying.
I would also like to add, it's also not fair to me, the protagonist of reality. Well, I mean, I had a couple of friends of mine, and I had a couple of friends of mine in the group chat being like over the last couple of days, and that's just, kids are driving me nuts. I'm not sleeping enough. I'm a little extra tired. So it's like this Maverick stuff. Every time it's drudged up and Luka does something awesome, it just sort of exists out there like an existential funk. And I don't want to talk about this part. Look at how much fun we had talking in the first 20 minutes. Oh, God. Also, this is a great question. Ash Boying asks, Josh, what is that over your right shoulder? I can't make it out. Do you want to tell him what character from Doom that is? Because that is
a Cacodemon from the hit series Doom, which was an old game when we were kids.
Yes.
That was a game our dads played. Which is crazy. Or older brother, like our older brothers played. One of
the first mega PC hits.
So it's one of my favorite game series of all time. So
I just had to break that up. So it's just long story short, is like this level of this is not good for me. I really mean it. Like
because this stuff sucks. I don't want to talk about it.
Dwell on it, and I fixate, and that's one of the funny parts about this sort of job becoming more of a thing as we have gotten more well known, is like I find these people that it's like, you're psychotic, and I'm like, yeah, always have been. Like, what?
You care,
right? And it's just it's not. And I wish I wasn't this way. I really do, but it's also I don't want to care like this, like about that. I want to be super pumped that Cooper Flagg finishes an and one to win a game over Giannis. That's what I want to do.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you should go edit. We went longer than normal by about 5 or 7 minutes. I'm sorry, guys, but this was actually a fun game worth talking about. We'll be back Wednesday night. the Mavericks play someone else. I don't know who.
They play Phoenix.
Oh, that's going to be a fight. That's going to be a feisty game. Really,
because Phoenix is kind of in the Mavs position where they're not that good, but they are.
Well, they have no reason to fail. The Suns have no reason to fail. Right. They should push the envelope. Okay, so if you want to join group therapy, I'm going to post the link right now. For those of you watching on stream or listening on audio, you should join the show. We post all this on YouTube. You should subscribe. It's a lot of fun. We'll be right back after I figure out where the music is. Josh, have a good night and go Mavs. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pod Mavericks Group Therapy. It is 11 o'clock on Monday, November 10th. Josh and I just finished up a recap show. If you're still here live, this is our fan-powered show where I bring various Mavs friends up here to talk about whatever is on their minds. If you're new to the show or if you are interested in the show, the easiest way you do this is join the YouTube channel, follow along live, and then you can click the link. It's very easy and I hope more fun and productive than arguing with people on Twitter, Reddit, etc. My friend Karam is already hanging out waiting, so we're going to go there first. Anybody else wants to click in, all you got to do is click that link. We'll talk about whatever and stay for as long as people are interested. Karam, how we doing?
Good evening.
Good look. Is that that's a good looking Mavs shirt? That's a cool shirt. I like
they
that.
had not too long ago they had like this bundle where it's like a mystery box. You pay like a number, like a price, like I think it was like $170 for premium, and it came with like 5 shirts, 2 hoodies, and a jersey for like $175, and that would go to a proceeding for donation.
Oh, that's pretty neat. Okay, that's a good way to move items. That's a good. I've never seen that before.
It's
pretty
nice.
Good,
it's nice.
Pretty good get. I like it.
Yeah.
Talk to me. What are you thinking about this game tonight? Last time you were on, you were mad.
I'm still mad. But I'm a little bit happier because did you see the Tim McMahon with the Hoop Collective?
I did. Josh and I did. That's kind of what we spent the second part of the show talking about, the downfall from that. I heard that first thing this morning and turned it into a little video of my own.
I gleed. I smiled the moment I heard, how hot of a seat he has. I gleed. I was happy. Did you hear about like the little stupid little area that he's sitting in, like hiding?
I had a tweet. I had a tweet go very viral where I shared. Let's just see if it's down here because it was such a funny thing. Where all right, so this is from Mark Stein, and he says portable stairs are rolled in every game via the tunnel between both benches and adjacent to the new seat location that enable Harrison to exit at any point without having to walk through sections of the crowd.
It's kind of sad because as a therapist, I should have like kumbaya, but that is a pussy move.
I mean, but then the second part of that, and this is important. There was a video of him tonight sitting there, just taking it, listening to people chant like fire Nico. That was amazing. Like, yeah. I got to give him a little bit of credit for sitting there, taking that like right to his face. I laughed, because it's over the summer. There was this viral video of this guy going up to him in public and basically like telling him fuck off. And like, really? It honestly, as an adult man, I at once sympathized with the person who decided to do it, but like, it's one of those things, and you as a therapist, I think, can speak to this. there's feeling something, thinking something, and then there's doing something. And sometimes like the doing it doesn't feel near as good as you expect it to.
Yeah.
And like as an adult man, I'm sitting here going, you know what? I would like to I call him names on shows. I would to his face, I would probably tell him that I think he's terrible at his job and that he would resign. I don't think I would curse at him, and I don't think I would, and like that's just the difference. And so it's a little thing, but it's I suppose what keeps me from being a full-on barbarian.
No, I get it. I mean, obviously I say it here to you, but like in person, I probably would never even say anything like that. But it's funny how he was so respected, and then he made that one move, and now he is despised. Like he'll never have a job in the NBA.
I kind of wonder, like, what does he do from here? Like that's it's a
ego.
It's beyond that, where it's just like, oh, you were a successful Nike exec who passed up on Steph Curry. Oh, you're the basketball exec who traded Luka Doncic. Like, do I bring you in to run a Subway franchise? Like, I'd be very concerned. Like, it's just his decision making is so brash, and like that can really pay off. But at other times, it's just like Tim McMahon said on that thing this morning. He's like, let's name a Nico move that's worked lately. And like you go back, and it might be the acquisition of PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford.
No, yeah, I mean, up to the point where he traded Luka, everything seemed to work. I mean, they made it to the Western Conference Finals, and then they did some trades, and then they missed a year because of injuries, Kyrie, what have you. Then the next year they get PJ and Gafford, and they're going to the finals, right? It's amazing just how everything he was doing. And then the ego is like I'm going to be the villain, or I'm going to be, I don't know what was going in his mind. I don't think anyone will. I think it was a power trip. That's all.
I mean, it's like part of me respects the conviction in one's beliefs that much, but it's like one of the areas where he's really made no friends is his insistence that he's done a good job. Like, I don't know if you watched the end of your press conference, but kudos to Isaac Harris, of all people, of all the media people. He was just like, why should you still have a job?
I remember that. Yeah.
And his answer was, I think I've done a good one. And it's like, how? Like, it's fine if you say, I trust what I'm building, but like, I've done a good job.
Well, in therapy, we call that delusional. I diagnosed him with delusion.
Right. It's like,
delusion of grandeur. That's what we would call it.
That is, it's up there, man. It's up there. So, what else did you like? Talk to me, anything from this game? Did you take away?
I mean, it was exciting. It was fun. I have no problem or worries about Cooper Flagg. I mean, he is showing glimpses. I mean, this is 11th game, career high, almost a double-double. I think he had like 2 or 3 steals. I mean, probably by next year, we're going to see a whole different Cooper, right? But is it bad that I wanted them to lose?
I mean, here's how I approach it. Did I have fun watching the game? I had a great time watching that game. I told Josh last time or earlier in the show that was probably the most fun I've had watching them since the Toronto game, because a lot of these games have been slogs. And so I'm not in a position, like, with 70 games, that's how many are left. Yeah. I'm not in a position to say I want them to lose. If you are already looking that far down the road, I'm not going to judge you. It's just, that's a slog. I have to do too much to root against the Mavericks. Does that make sense? Like, when they're down by when the Mavericks are down by 20, it's like, okay, this is fine. But in a game like that, where Cooper had a game, what could have been a game-winning bucket over former MVP and Defensive Player of the Year Giannis Antetokounmpo, I wanted that for him in that moment. That's what I wanted.
I agree.
So.
Can I defend my reason why?
Now that the game's over, them being 3-8 is kind of hilarious.
Sure.
That's like it's what's it called? You have holding 2 competing thoughts in your brain at the same time. What is that called?
Can
Oh,
you
it's
say that again?
two competing thoughts in your head at the same time. What is that? I'll figure it out
A
later.
conundrum? A dilemma?
You keep thoughts. What is that called? I'm just really stupid at the moment. The cognitive dissonance. There we go.
Yes.
Thank you, Cameron.
Yes.
Sorry, but that's what being a fan is in almost all instances of wanting like multiple things at the same time. So that's where I sit. Thank you, Cameron. I appreciate your help.
I say this because if for every win they have, there is a chance Nico will stay. The more we lose, the likelihood he will get fired.
See, okay, so somebody brought this up in the chat earlier. The Mavs quietly finished their like 25-year sellout streak. Now, I put that in quotations to note that Mark Cuban did all sorts of crazy stuff to keep that streak going, including like underpricing tickets to get people to come to games. He loved having a packed house, so he would at a certain point they were giving away tickets for free. Okay. The Pelicans game was the first time in 20 plus years they've had under 19,000 people in the arena. So this is literally hurting them in the wallet. And so that more than anything else is why I think he's going to be gone sooner rather than later.
Then I have a follow-up question to that.
Sure.
He gets fired. Who takes over? Finley?
That's a great question. Bobby Corella.
Is Kid going to be the GM? Because I remember he wanted to do that.
Bobby Corella of DLLS noted that for something like this, his opinion was that they would need to have a new hire in place because an interim GM is essentially not having a general manager at all. Because if there's a power vacuum, there's a problem.
So who do you think it'll be? Will it be
I don't know. No, I think it's the guy who they if they do it, it'd be the guy they trotted out after the lottery. The younger guy who's from Plano. Can't remember his name at the moment because my brain no longer works.
Who is this?
He's like the assistant GM. I just can't remember his name. I'm gonna Google it. You should. Matt Riccardi. There we go. He was a handsome younger guy, and they trotted him out kind of as the guy who talked about because he's a local kid. Kirk, it was George Orwell. It's a really stupid but good reference. Go ahead.
Do you think? And I don't mean to interrupt, but we were able. I mean, all jokes aside, we were able to get the Warriors guy, Wells. What was his name?
Yeah. He's more of a business side guy. He was brought in to help facilitate a new arena.
Do you think he could have that same influence in bringing the old GM for the Warriors?
I mean, maybe, but that guy wants Bob. I know
Bob something.
He wants to own stuff. That guy wants to not be. So I think and this is my firm opinion, I think if you do go for a new GM, you bring in someone that doesn't have an attached history. That's why I would actually be okay with this current Mavericks GM, Matt Riccardi, because I want new ideas. I don't want old ideas. Like I like the hiring of Nico Harrison because it's a new thing. Bringing in someone that's already moved on from another GMing job, unless it's Sam Presti, I'm not that interested.
Don't you want established?
I don't.
Someone you don't.
Because if you're building around a guy like Cooper, I don't want like these guys bring pre-existing notions to the job. If you think Cooper is the superstar, then I want to build from that point forward and not inadvertently emulate any rebuilds from the past. It's like every job you go to, you bring your baggage from a previous job.
Yeah.
I don't want to retread. There's too many smart NBA people to have this many dumb NBA people. That's why, like the Pelicans hiring Joe Dumars. Dumars is a historical NBA figure who absolutely sucks as a general manager. Like it's a fact. And so it's like I'm not interested in any of that sort of thing. Like somebody threw out today to me that they wanted the Toronto GM. That guy's done a whole bunch of nothing. He got Kawhi once lucky. He wasn't able to re-sign him, and the Raptors have been ass up until they parted ways with him. Like I'm just not interested in that. And that's me. I have zero say.
No, fair. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you make really good points. So I will go on the Kirk train.
Sure. Okay.
Right. Well, have a good night.
Talk soon. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, talk soon. All right, coming up next here is Patrick. Patrick, welcome to the party. What's going on?
Hello, it's me. I was not expecting to be second. I thought I was going to be like 8th, but all right.
Nobody's
well,
up
here we are.
tonight. These games are so it's like one of the things for me, and I'll just ramble for a second as you collect your thoughts, is that I find that if I do these regularly, I get more people coming in. But because the Mavericks suck, I think the only people who are really paying attention are us psychopaths. So, welcome.
Yep, definitely a psychopath. Okay, well, let's do like non on the court stuff first. I'm actually at the restaurant. I would not do it. I agree, it's cringe or whatever, but it had to happen. Somebody had to do it, and we're gonna have a documentary in the future, and we need clips. So happy that happened.
Okay, that's a pretty good take. I haven't heard that one before.
I mean, we all lived through this, like
I mean, I saw him. I apologize if you've heard me share this story before, but in Summer League, it's the one time I go get media credential because I've been going for 10 years. And I saw him in the pit, which is basically this area behind the media seats in the UNLV big arena. And I was talking with Fran Fraschilla, who I just happened to meet like 10 years ago because he knew one of my teammates who played in Russia. I'm sorry, in Europe and all over the world. And so we were just like chatting, and I see out of the corner of my eye, Nico's about 20 feet away, just staring me the fuck down like a total creep.
This is post Mavs 9/11. Okay.
Yeah, this is July, and he's just staring at me, and I'm like, and I'm just like, I don't want to talk. Like, I didn't feel like confronting him. I know I have nothing to say to him at that point in time, and then I still don't to this day. It's like, what do you say to someone who has so drastically changed your life and they clearly don't care? Like, there's just nothing to do there, right?
I know. Well, again, like, yeah, thank you for hosting the psychos, because I should say I'm not a psycho, because I try to explain this, like, my mood is still affected by this, and having people who actually know what's going on, it validates my frustration. And whatever happens when Nico gets fired, the way that people are going to celebrate is also going to validate that I'm actually not a psycho. People just have things that they escape life, and I need basketball for my mental health, so I'm here. But all right, on to basketball. My question tonight is, what is the ideal player?
Ooh, Patrick went mute. Patrick's broadcasting from somewhere.
I cut off a thing. I couldn't hear you respond, but let me just finish my question.
Yeah,
I don't know if I cut off.
No, it cut you off. So let's hear.
Because when I go to my notes, it takes me off the StreamYard thing, and then I go away. So that's really annoying. So I'll do pen and paper next time. Okay. But what is the ideal player archetype to put next to Cooper if we are to believe that long-term Cooper will be our number 1 or 1A? People say Jason Tatum, so then I'm thinking Jaylen Brown. I honestly think it would be Luka, but obviously that's ridiculous because Luka's a 1 of 1 and it's not happening. But
so I view right now on offense, I view Cooper as a better play finisher than a play initiator. Like, look at some of the makes that he had around the basket tonight. So I want any kind of playmaking guard or forward that can accentuate those skills. The guard out of Kansas right now, Darren Peterson, if you watch tape of him, you're going to fall in love. He plays like a power guard. Okay, he is forceful and crazy, and his kind of crazy in the limited time I've watched him matches Cooper's crazy. So that as a pick and roll combo, as a defensive combo, really delightful to me. So I think just having somebody else that has higher playmaking chops than Cooper is the way to get the best of both worlds, if that makes any sense.
And are you completely set on that's going to be through the draft? Or, I mean, we have a lot of assets that we could trade.
This is a good question.
AD, yeah. I just want to say, like, I love PJ. I want PJ to stay, but I feel like this whole thing's rubbing him the wrong way, like the fan reaction, which we're still valid, but he's the one guy that seems the most not okay with it. Not that he loves Nico. He just wants to win, doesn't want fans to root against him.
Right. I would say I saw this chart about 2 weeks ago that showed the cores of every NBA team based off of drafting. So it was like the draft picks. And wouldn't you know it, the teams that are currently kicking the shit out of everyone in the NBA. So if you were to go look at the standings right now, let's just say you got your Pistons, you got your Cavs, you got your Thunder, Spurs, all building, and then, to a certain extent, Timberwolves building through the draft. Now, obviously, you got teams like the Knicks, which did some trades and free agency moves. You're always going to have outliers, but the trade, the draft was built paired with the way the CBA is structured right now. The way you build a championship contender is to draft well and then get lucky within your well done drafting. The Celtics and the even though they just broke apart because their team got to be so expensive, the Celtics and the Thunder are my two favorite examples, and really to a certain extent the Golden State Warriors. Trades can be final pieces, but the Mavericks right now have 3 guys on their roster that they currently drafted. They have Cooper Flagg, Derek Lively, Jaden Hardy. That's it.
Nembhard technically, but
technically,
that
okay,
played a full season. But
sure.
And it's not he's not going to be the next Jalen Brunson or anything. But I think he'll be
he was undrafted free
serviceable
agent technically. So.
Yeah, I guess double reverse technical. Okay, well if that's the case, then like assuming this season goes poorly, top 10 draft pick this year, assuming we trade for picks, that's going to be in that like 15 to 22 range probably.
Yep.
And who's I guess we won't have a GM, so I don't even know who's in the draft.
That's where all this gets
room.
so dicey. I mean, I hate having to talk about the accounting level of this, but the part that's least discussed and probably the most important is the fact that the Mavericks are an absurdly expensive basketball team. They are roughly like $900,000 under the second apron. Rollover, if the NBA season was to end today with the team the Mavericks have, they would be something like 18 million over the second salary cap apron. They would be hard capped beyond belief. I think they're effectively hard capped now is how you phrase it correctly. But then there's the luxury tax payments, which are in the neighborhood of 30 million this year and 90 million next year. The Adelsons are made of money. That's correct. However, I don't think anybody likes lighting money on fire, though one can make the argument they do given the year that they've had. There's so many questions, and that's why I think building through the draft and like sort of jettisoning assets in exchange for unknown assets like draft picks is the way to go.
That's the second most fun, arguably sometimes even the most fun way to root for a sports team. The first one is obviously when you're a contender, you have expectations and hopefully they fulfill them. If they don't, it can be not that fun. The second best is when you're crappy and you're just watching for development and don't care if they win or lose and get some picks. But our losing after next year won't affect our picks. So it's like, what does that even matter? I really don't want to give those picks to the Spurs.
That's true. I mean, the 2030 pick swap with the Mavs and the Spurs is going to make me barf. If the Mavericks are bad, then
we can't be bad by then. I mean, we can, but we really can't. Like, come on.
That's right. No, I get it.
All right. Well, is there someone behind me? I do want to give a Mavs legend shout out. Okay, so Mavs of your shout out. This guy was like barely a Mav, but I have story time about him. One Eddie Jones, who was a very solid player, sneaky all-star. I think definitely at least once, obviously, but maybe twice. A casualty of Kobe's come up, I believe, although I did not watch the era. But Eddie Jones played for the Miami Heat, and I grew up in South Florida, born in Dallas, moved when I was 7, kept my Mavs fandom. But my brother and I went to a Heat Mavs game when I was probably like 9, 10, 11, somewhere when Eddie Jones played for them. And we were going to sit in 300s. And this is back when you had paper tickets. And I found a 10th row ticket on the floor at the merch or whatever team store before the game. And my brother is an absolute scam king. I probably shouldn't be saying this on the record, but okay. I'm not going to tell you about his scams, but he's the greatest scam king. Well, not this. He's to this day the scam king, but we're not going to talk about that. So he's like, all right, we go to the water fountain, get some like water on my eyes because I can't cry on command because I'm not Leonardo DiCaprio or whatever. And he's like, just be really sad. We go pretend we're going to that seat in the 10th row in the lower bowl. And my brother's 8 years older than me, so he's 18, 19, 20 at this point. And he's like, hey man, my brother, like he's 11. He lost his ticket. We have the one. Can you just like let us in? Guy let us in. We sat 10th row. Awesome experience. Eddie Jones was from Pompano Beach, Florida, where we're from, and went to Blanche Ely High School. His name's on the side of the school. Anyway, I just remember he's at the free throw line, and I just go, Eddie Jones, Pompano Beach, and he just looks at me and points at me, and I was like, that's all I need.
Memory. That's a core memory. That's a great story.
Yeah, he was pretty washed by then, though. But yeah, great player. And do you have any memories of him on the Mavs?
I do, but I don't like the Eddie Jones that exists in my brain was a Laker. And that's part, it's part of one of those funkier Lakers teams. Eddie Jones is a Maverick. What year was that?
I think it was like 02, 03. And
yes. Okay. So those were formative years for me with the Mavericks. Let's see, 2007, 2008. What years do we have here? I'm going to basketball.
He played up until 08.
Yeah.
There's no way.
He was shooting guard for the Mavericks 07, 08. He played 47 games with the Mavericks that year. That's incredible. Okay, that's why.
I was for like 14 back then. Yes, I should have been able to cry on command.
Last year in the league.
That's fantastic. To me it was Nash era, like in my memory. But yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, he was in Miami during Nash era. That was it because he was in the Heat all the way through 2000 to 2005.
Yeah, so, and also and then probably replaced by Dwayne Wade too. So. He's just, he's like the canary in the coal mine for having a top tier shooting guard. We should sign him, actually. Maybe we'll get someone.
He's only 54. He could do it.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Have a good night. Thanks for having me.
Talk soon.
See ya.
Okay. I'm going to insert some ads here. If you want to support our show, the best way you can do that is to either listen to the ads or give us money through the PayPal. I'll be right back, and then I'm going to bring up the homie Tyron, and then that'll close out the show, so we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We have somebody who I'm pretty sure Tyron was at the game. Tyron, what's up, brother?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. You sound good. What's going on?
Awesome. I gotta talk soft. The wife and baby are asleep. But
this is a real fan here.
I'm not mad at that game. And the reason being, well, one, the energy was up, but two, I really enjoyed seeing the young guys get some burn tonight as one unit, one cohesive unit. And I think that if we continue to play those guys, and moments like the end of the fourth quarter tonight, those guys can really grow and learn and become something. And that gives me hope, something to look forward to.
It was a great like last 18 minutes of the game. I mean, the Bucks punched so hard and the Mavericks just kind of hung with it. And they had a chance in the end. Devin Harris kind of quietly, since you were at the game, Devin Harris kind of quietly excoriated Cooper Flagg for that last made basket from Ryan Rollins, because he said it was his tag or something to the effect. But like that was just a great couple of basketball plays. Like that Ryan Rollins play, we didn't even talk about it on the show because it's like, the Mavs lost. But like that Ryan Rollins made bucket was awesome. Awesome. Like it was a 2-on-3. And he made the correct read and finished at the cup. Like that, you just don't see stuff like that in NBA games. Usually NBA games are like some combination of idiot hero ball where somebody makes a bad shot or you just kind of get used to it. But like that was like a real great basketball play. I loved it.
It really was. The energy in the AAC was rocking. It was a lot of fun. And I am of the camp of like I not telling anybody else to get over it. The trade that is, but like I'm over it. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to, and I don't even think that's just for the Mavericks. I think I'm ready to see new things across the league in general.
Sure.
There's a lot of young talent that I feel like is getting put on the back burner just for, nostalgia's sake.
Sure. Yeah.
And,
Guys that
and,
are just
and
around forever. Yeah.
yeah,
I can see that.
it's time to move on, But anyway,
What's it
that's
like
my
watching
piece about it.
Giannis in person? I've never seen him in person.
This wasn't his best game, and I personally like Giannis. So I was
I do too.
pretty hyped about seeing him tonight, but this really wasn't his game. But the few moments of genius that he had tonight, it's like watching an NBA 2K cheat code
He
live.
just plays with such power. Like there was he missed the shot, but there was a shot in like the final few made baskets where he drove left from like the right elbow, where the way he got around Musa, I think he was being guarded by Musa, and they tipped it in, but it's like the way he drives left as a right-handed player, where I'm like, my God, there's just such force with the way he plays. And it's hard to that's why I would like to see it in person, because sometimes, like, one of the things that doesn't, for me at least, that I have a hard time noticing is like the raw physicality of like the really tough dudes. And that's why I would like to see him.
Yeah, and it's definitely apparent when you watch him live. I think that was the first quarter or second quarter, whatever, but he had a putback dunk on 2 Mavericks, and Cooper Flagg was unfortunately one of them. And I mean, can't make this stuff up, man. Like Giannis is literally a freak of nature. But like again, going back to the young guys, they did a good job of shutting them down tonight.
I thought they did too. His stat line, you're looking at it, it might not tell you the truth, but it's like he had 5 turnovers because they were frustrating him.
Oh yeah, they were hounding the hell out of him in the key. Nothing came easy for him tonight, except for that, when he travels like he does often. But we're not going to talk about that.
Talk to me about what you saw insofar as let's say the first quarter with Brandon Williams actually running the point and pressing the attack.
So I'm a huge Brandon Williams fan. Like, let's go ahead and get that out there.
Sure.
The fact that he has been working with Kyrie Irving since last season is very evident. And he's such a twitchy, quick guard. I don't think there's anybody on the Bucks defense that stayed in front of him. And couple that with the fact that he's an energizer bunny. If he develops a shot, then yeah, we have yet another great small point guard. I know people don't like him for whatever reason because he's small or whatever, but to those people, I say Jalen Brunson was small and look what he became. You know what I mean? I really have a whole lot of hope in B. Will. Just watching him navigate the point tonight was, to me, it was a joy. And then compared to when D'Lo got in the game, he completely fucked the flow of the game up. So just being a Mavericks fan for a long time, I really want these young guys to get the opportunity to grow, because that hasn't been a strong suit of the organization in the past.
Sure,
Right.
sure.
So yeah, B. Will, in my opinion, for what he is in his current form, I mean, he was amazing to me. I enjoyed it. Some of his crossovers, the way he maneuvered, in and out of the lane, around underneath the basket, finding guys, the passes were crisp, like all that stuff. Like he's gonna be okay. I have no concerns about him whatsoever.
Loved it. Love to hear it.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I do have one request to make of my fellow Mavericks fans that pissed me off to no end tonight.
Let's hear it.
At the end of the game, where PJ Washington was on the line, right? Now, usually when the home team is on the free throw line,
Yeah, you don't cheer or you don't chant.
You don't say anything. You shut up and let the guy concentrate so he can sink the bucket, right?
Yeah.
Mere seconds left in the game, and somebody in one of the suites starts chanting "Fire Nico."
Oh yeah, you could hear it on the. That was the one time in the game you could hear it on the TV, at least for me.
You could visibly see PJ Washington's face just go, ugh.
Yeah, It's tough. I wish that what he seems to be, somebody mentioned this earlier in the show, where it's like he seems to be the one that gets the most visibly pissed off about all that. Which is
you blame him?
No, I mean, Josh basically said on their show where he's like, I don't understand how this is still a thing, and them, like, if there's all these questions about him, because the distraction's not going to get smaller. And so it's you're right in the big picture sense of like, don't do it while the guy's in the line. And then it's like, well, he's sitting there in the crowd like a smug shit. So I don't know. It shouldn't have happened. I wish I can't believe Giannis fouled him, first of all. Like, that was asinine.
Yeah.
But well, good. I'm glad you got to go to the game. This is one of those that I just never get to go, and this was a fun one to watch on TV. What any Musa Cisse thoughts? Because he's like Josh's favorite player of all time now.
Yeah, he's just one of those young guys that I think needs to get more burn. And he was great tonight. The energy, my God, like I got tired watching him.
Yeah. Running hard is a skill.
I know Josh probably doesn't go back and listen to these, but Josh, I did do my homework, and yes, you're correct. He runs like a madman.
He challenged me. He was like, Kirk, did you pay any attention to this? And I was like, yeah, man. Like, Giannis, I think, was even getting a kick out of how hard the guy was running. Like, they were kind of Giannis was kind of fucking with him when they were under the free throw line together, where I could tell he was like, hey, slow down, dude. Like, relax.
And I love it. But when he got in there, he was effective. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
These young guys, they're effective. So hopefully we can move on. Not telling people to move on from the Luka trade. You feel how you feel about it, but as an organization, I'm ready to take the next step forward and see what this next group can do. And before I get off, guys, please stop chanting "Fire Nico" while the guys are at the fucking free throw line. Like, if you have any other part of the game,
you gotta wait. They had to wait. You're basically saying wait 20 more seconds.
You know what I mean? Let the guy get off the line. You know what I mean? Just game's on the line. We got 3 free throws. He makes one, and y'all want to start chanting "Fire Nico." Like, have some sense about you, and let's not do that. Okay.
So I gotta take your temperature on this as a fellow dad, even though we both actually have young children. So did you see in the game a Luka Doncic Laker wearing jerseys got kids sitting next to Patrick Dumont?
No.
So there's this story that's popping up on the internet, and apparently and this kid's like 16. I didn't know how old he was. He doesn't look that young, but I can never tell how old kids are. He's sitting next to Patrick Dumont, and apparently what happened was earlier in the season, his dad had taken him to a game, and he flipped off Dumont, and his dad wouldn't let him come back to the game until he agreed to try to find a way to talk to Patrick Dumont to apologize to him. So they went to the game tonight, and he had to like find a way to get past security, which Patrick Dumont let him. And then they're sitting there talking, and like, I'm just watching this, and I'm just like now I know the story. I'm like, that's, the first thought that came into my head was this is great parenting. Like, holy shit, like that kid is gonna get sassed about that forever. But it's like, you know what? As a 16-year-old, don't flip off an adult. Don't do it. It's not good for you. Not good for anybody. Just made me laugh.
Yeah, don't do it, but you kind of get a pass with that one. You
know? Like, I get it. It just made me laugh. Anyhow.
Yeah.
All right, man. I really appreciate
you. One more thing. Speaking of that, did you see the video of Nico Harrison walking? I guess he was giving autographs. I don't know where this was or when.
That was in Fort Worth at the preseason game in the Oklahoma City one. So it's like I give every one of those people a pass. They're just happy that folks came to Fort Worth.
Well, did you see the kid that turned his back to him right as he's about to shake his hand?
Oh shit! I don't think I noticed that part. I've seen the video though. I know what you're talking about. That's fucked up.
Go back and watch it. Like the kid just completely,
whoosh.
It was amazing.
All right, man. Anyway. Good talk. This is a great end of the show. Thanks so much.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, guys. We will be back here on Wednesday night as the Mavericks play someone. You'd think I would know, but I am tired. I can't even find where it is. We'll be back. Thanks so much for hanging out. Head on over to Mavs Moneyball. Everybody be good. Go Mavs.